Hi everybody. How's it going? Those watercolors were gorgeous, if I do say so myself. That article was really interesting and well written too. I was actually really impressed. Alright. I'm here to talk today a little bit about character design. Now, I'm not here to throw any shade on anybody. I'm not here to say anybody is a good or a bad artist. I wouldn't do anything like that. Everybody's got their own style. But a new champion came out for League of Legends, and her name is Gwen. You can see her here. She's carrying around some big spectral-looking scissors. She's cute. She's got like a cute little dress going on, and I like her blue hair. There's a lot about this character that I really like. She's called the Hollowed Seamstress, which is also very cute. Here's the thing that I don't like. If you look at her bio, a former doll transformed and brought to life by magic. What about this design makes her look like a doll? The only thing I can think of besides having like, oh, she has porcelain skin, or like she's a doll-like looking person, that's not really what she's supposed to look like. So let's take a look at her biography real quick and see. Within the long-lost kingdom of Camivore, definitely not Camelot, there once lived a village of people far from the throne. It was here in the rural colonies where a humbled seamstress made her beloved doll, Gwen. What Gwen can remember of her past, she remembers with love. The seamstress and the doll spent their days crafting, scissors resting in Gwen's still hands as her maker stitched nearby with the needle and thread. At night, the two could be found crouched under the dinner table, the seamstress challenging Gwen to makeshift duels, the clash of silverware against scissors echoing in their candlelit kitchen. In time, the game stopped and the light faded. Gwen could not understand why, but whenever she struggled to recall details, she felt a twinge of pain tied to a man whose name and face escaped her. As her memories washed away with the ocean tide, Gwen lay still for centuries, quiet and forgotten. She's basically like a Toy Story doll. Then one night, her eyes opened. Gwen awoke for the first time on a shadowy beach far from her home. By magic, unbeknownst to her, she had been transformed into a living girl who could move her hands and feet all on her own. Gwen took to life with joy. She skipped across the sand, amazed at how far her eyes could see, how wondrous every pebble was to her touch, and how incredible the wind felt on her back. Along the coast, scattered debris left abandoned for a millennium caught her attention. Laying beside a broken chest were oddly familiar tools. Scissors, needle, thread. Gwen recognized them immediately. These were her maker's tools. When her fingers touched them, a burst of mist glistening with light flowed from her hands. To her it felt safe and warm, like the soothing embrace of a hollowed past. But Gwen was not the only one drawn to this magic. Lurking in the aisles, a different mist swarmed, black in color. It coiled in twists, forming into fearsome wraiths. Something within Gwen's newfound presence attracted them, something they hungered for with obsession. As the wraiths came for her, Gwen was undeterred. She thrust her scissors at them to her delight. More of her mist filled the air, enchanting the size and strength of her tools and turning them from mere steel into spectral magic. But the wraiths were relentless. They swelled in number, fueled by the ever-growing black mist. Gwen began to feel a tragic, strangely familiar pain surrounded by wraiths. Suppressed memories surfaced. She recalled images of her maker, sick and wounded, laying in anguish. Near her was a man whose face finally returned to Gwen. Viego. I'm not gonna lie, I love Viego. Viego's a crazy badass. Remembering his name brought Gwen to her knees. Wistfully, she reflected on the bygone moments spent with her maker, a happier, simpler time, and stole one final glance at her scissors. It was then Gwen realized something amazing. Her maker, victim to that man's twisted vanity, was not fully gone. The seamstress's tools, the very tools that first sewed and stitched Gwen together, were now in her hands. Gwen believed this was no accident. She knew deep down her maker was still with her, still fighting. This was a gift Gwen would not take for granted. Grasping the needles and thread, she spun clouds of hollowed mist instead of black mist. to push back the swarming wraiths. Her scissors slashed hard and fast, reminiscent of those blissful nights when her maker imagined grand battles beneath their kitchen table. Soon the wraiths were no more. Though triumphant, Gwen recognized this was only the beginning. She could sense these wraiths and Viego were linked, both responsible for the spread of immense pain. With no time to lose, she resolved to track the black mist and stop it at any cost. Gwen expected this endeavor to be strenuous, yet she reveled in every second of being alive, for who knew how long this blessing would last. After having been given a unique chance at life, Gwen chooses to be an indomitable, positive force against all odds. She journeys across Runeterra, determined to restore joy to those who are hurt and suffering. To Gwen, each moment is precious, each step driven with purpose. What a lovely character. But this is what she looks like. She's supposed to be a doll that was sewn together. Are those supposed to be stitches? There's just a lot going on here that she doesn't look like a seamstress, nor does she, she's not wearing simple clothing, she's wearing doll-like clothing, right? And if I scroll down here, and she's from the Shadow Isles, and so these are the other creatures that are from the Shadow Isles. Viego is at least he's the ruined king. He's a big deal, but he's like a king and supposed to be a human, or was a guy. Here's Callista, who was also a human. Look at her! Here's Thresh, who was also a human. Here's Hecarim, who was also a human. These Hecarim, Viego, and Callista were all on the Shadow Isles at the same time and became creatures. Yorick, also a human. Who else is from the Shadow Isles? Let's check out the region and see who else is from here. Karthus, Mordekaiser, Maokai. Maokai was a tree. Here's something that wasn't a human at one point. He didn't turn into a person. Why did Callista turn into a person? Let's go back to Gwen. Or why did Gwen I said Callista. Why did Gwen turn into a person? Like, look at her. I guess she looks kind of like a doll when compared to other creatures from the Shadow Isles. But I want to show you Oriana. There's Gwen. Where's Ori? L, M, N, N. Oriana. Oriana was a human who slowly had their pieces replaced by technology, by tech, until she basically became just a living doll. And let's take a look at, I want to show you guys something real quick. This is what they show her looking like as a doll. Whenever it loads. Oh god, creepy. That's not what I mean, that's creepy. I could just do that. To make her look like that. That's what she used to look like. She used to look like this little, like, I guess she still was humanoid looking, but she was a doll. She kind of looks like Ragdoll Poppy. Because if we look up... Ragdoll Poppy. See, she still looks like a doll. So they have champions that look like dolls, and they have Yordles that are small. They could have had Gwen kind of look like a Yordle-ish, I guess. like, there were options here, and I maybe I'm just a little bit disappointed that they have clockwork looking stuff. It's not unreasonable to have a champion that looks like a doll, and it's just, this to me reads like, hey, I'm just another pretty girl. Like, there aren't enough of those. I'm just saying, there were options here, and you chose none of them. You chose 0 options. Let me just add little cute little doll. So why don't we? Yes, Ragdoll Poppy is short. Poppy is just short. The Yordles are small, so having small Yordles, you could have her look. It's not like Yordles are the only ones that are small. Fizz is not really a Yordle. He's a weird fish guy. I think they ended up making him a Pastaya. Essentially what I'm saying is, like, you could make her short. There's a lot you could do to make her maybe a little bit more interesting. So here's a lot of her art kind of all put together, so you can sort of see what we're working with. I'm also gonna put some music on because we're gonna get into the art start getting into the art stuff. So there's a ton you could do here. There's still good stuff going on. It's not like there isn't anything. It's not like this whole design is bad or something. Again, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that I think there's an opportunity here that you could do a lot more with it. So, like, she's still got the 2 eyes, which are kind of, like, sorry, I gotta take my glasses off. I can't, they're for distance. If I start using them on my tablet, it will be a bad time for me. Got some ginger ale. So, like, they've looks like they've done some work, like, around this area to make it look like she's still porcelain. Like, she's got a sheen, but they've also made her look maybe a little bit too fleshy. I still think the clothes are cute. I think the clothes can stay, because I don't think she's supposed to actually be a seamstress. I think she's supposed to be a doll that knows how to sew and such. Her eyes could be maybe even a little bit bigger if she's a doll. Maybe if we make her a little bit chibi, like, her arm length is kind of bizarre to me. It's a little bit long, like her shoulder is up here. I'm not here to pick on anatomy. When you're doing splash art, sometimes the things making sense in their proportions don't have to make sense. But I do still like the outfit. I think the outfit should stay. I like the stockings. I think the stockings should stay. She looks cross-eyed in this picture. Which is fine. Stitching in the dress would be really nice, yeah. The scissors are cool. Whoops. I think they maybe overdid the stockings. Like, she's clearly got, like, stitching, but they've done what they can to make it look, like, pretty and not, like, shadow aisles. Which is kind of too bad. It's like they've sort of tried to take as much of the shadow aisles out of her, like the creepy part of the shadow aisles out of her as possible. Which I guess kind of makes sense if she's supposed to be, like, blessed. But at the same time, like, look at these creepy dolls in the background. Why are there so many like, look at these guys. These guys are hella spooky. And then there's, like, the seamstress box, which makes it look like it's from Sid's room in Toy Story. I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be a fabric doll. Like, that looks like... So this is what they show her as looking like. It looks like fabric to me. So maybe if they had her in, that her skin looked like it was burlap instead of porcelain, because she's not a porcelain doll. Like, if you look at her, like, that's not porcelain. She's sewing together this outfit. She's a seamstress. This woman was not somebody who would have made her out of porcelain. So, and if you were to do porcelain, you would give her flesh, like, you see, like, the blush, you could have the blushies on the cheek, but if you look at her skin tone, it looks like skin. It doesn't look like porcelain. And yeah, absolutely button eyes. Absolutely with the button eyes. So, like, I'm fine with the gloves. The gloves are fine. But there's just a lot more you could do with this character. So I kind of want to play around and see sort of what concepts we can come up with to maybe give her something a little bit more. You know what I should show you? Let me pull you guys up something real quick. Let me show you guys what Fiddlesticks looks like. Because I think I'm going to use him as a reference. Fiddlesticks. I'm not gonna lie, I love this guy, but he is creepy as hell. But he's made out of burlap. Look at this creepy monstrosity. But he's made out of, like, this is like busted up. You can see like the burlap. And it's like strapped over and ripped apart. Like it's been more than one burlap sack that's just been torn apart a bunch of times and re-put together or added to it. So you can have, like, these it's not like these creepy characters don't exist. Now, to be fair, Fiddle is a demon, and she's not supposed to be a demon. But, like, come on. Come on! The doll monster from Nightmare Sally? Yeah, you could totally, like, if we want to use Sally as a reference, hell yeah, let's pull Sally in here. Why the hell not? I'm down. Let me go grab a picture of Sally and put her in here. Let's grab a picture of Sally. Because you know who else was a seamstress? Also Sally. She, like, sewed herself back together when she fell out windows or needed to take an arm off or anything of that kind. And having Gwen with some kind of, like, that sort of ability would be super duper cool. I think that her mouth should not... Like, she's got regular lips and a nose, which she doesn't have here. She's just got two mismatched button eyes. Right, let's merge this all together and give ourselves some sketching space. So, I think we have, like, more we can work with here. And so, I'm fine. Her pose isn't terribly intimidating, but I think her pose isn't... She's just cute. Which is fine, but you want, like, cute creepy. There's also a version of Oriana. There's also a version of Oriana that has... Let me look at that. I can't remember the name of the skin, but she's got one. There it is. This is what it looked like before. I don't know if they probably updated the art on it. Is there an updated? Okay, I'm not... It's called Sown Chaos Oriana. Yeah, I'm not seeing any updated art, so I think the 2017 update was the last update. So... Look at this, and you tell me that League of Legends can't have a creepy doll. Look at that! That's way better. This is so much more what Gwen ought to look like. But give her the cute outfit and keep all the creepy. She looks like she's made out of burlap. I want this design on this character. It would be way better. So let's add this to our set of references. That doll down here looks like Annie. Alright. So let's start with, like, a good pose. So if we want to make her more, like, doll-shaped, we could give her a little bit more of, like, her head is a little... She's a little top-heavy. So we can make her head maybe a little bit bigger. I still want to keep the dress, but we could also have her head, like, tilted to the side. Bring her shoulders in so she has, like, small... She's, like, petite. And then just kind of, like... has a big flowy dress like this. I have a couple of ideas. Then she kind of looks like she's got, like, a tissue paper ghost thing going on. Maybe if you want to make her red eye that they're kind of covering with the hair, if they make her, the red one, make the red one still a button and her other eye an actual eye. We're gonna turn her into, like, some kind of abomination, and it's gonna be amazing. And she's, like, trying to spread joy, but she's still sort of like a creepy fucking doll. She's like the kind of creepy doll that a kid would like, but a parent would just be like, this. Maybe make her lips a little bit more enclosed. She should have a round face, which she has down here. That's fine. And then she has big curlies. And I'm fine with her hair. Her hair is cute. And the hair matches... Right? Look at that. See, that's a little bit more interesting to me. So, like, she's cute, but and going to a tea party, but also she's, like, absolutely, like, you don't think you want to go to her tea party? She can still be holding onto the dress like that. And her pinky sticking up. And like maybe she's like a little bit off balance. This should come down further. And then she's got, like, what, ruffles here? Is she supposed to have a bow, or is she supposed to have ruffles? Oh, okay. Both? Kind of a little bit of column A and kind of a little bit of column B. She remembers her seamstress being a little girl. So it can't be the case that a little girl was able to do something so intricate. So it seems to me that the little girl made a rough doll that her older self added to later. So her initial design down here was probably just a simple doll that she then sewed on extra clothes and extra layers of clothing, which she wouldn't have been able to add as a child. And we're gonna segment the arms, so that way you can see where, like, one arm was stuffed up. You could even, like, disproportion the stuffing that's in each arm. I would almost give her mittens. Mitten hands. Maybe a 2-section mittened hand. There we go. So she can still put her pinky out. So she's got, like, Ninja Turtle hands. And she's not getting a nose. Add some ruffles onto here. I don't think she should have legitimate shoes. I think her feet should just kind of turn into feet. And then she has her big scissors shit going on. I'm not gonna take her scissors. Her scissors are cool. I am down for spectral scissors. If she was a porcelain doll, and like this ought to be burlap. She's like got that burlappy stitching in here. You can still make the stitchy that blue, because I think what they want is that blue glowing, but it should be like glowing as in like magic seeping out instead of just like it looks like it's just been like tacked on. Because I don't like that. I don't like that look so much. So what do you guys think? Do you think we're happy with this one here? 1 in the chat if you like this design, 2 in the chat if you want me to add another, like if you want me to try another one. Like another pose. And you guys are happy with this one? I didn't think we'd get such a good design on our first shot. Do we like the pose? We could do the same character, different pose. Although I do think this is good for like... It's not quite high enough tier for splash art, but it's a good start. Alright, let's play around with like different sorts of poses. Cause she's not a ballerina. She's a seamstress. So seamstresses tend to, they're working with their hands. But she's also like supposed to be a cute doll who plays with people, right? Small shoulders, body that ruffles out. You could tie like strings. She's like playing cat's cradle or something. And then she's got the scissors on her back. Because she's like a creepy doll that does creepy doll things. Because she's a seamstress, right? She doesn't just use... She's not only using scissors, right? You have her holding a pig, like holding a doll of herself. You could have her sitting on a spool. We could kind of do something close to the Oriana one. Where she's sort of like... She's leaning forward and she's got like... And then she's got those ruffly thing that's going on here. It would all be scrunched up. I don't think that'd be a good pose, but she could be like... She's got like... a sewing needle. Like the sewing needle's like slightly too big. Because she's creepy. And she's sitting on like... a spool of thread. And like the thread's coming out and going into her hand. And then she's got the scissors. And behind her. I don't think she uses the needle in the game. Oh no, she does. Doesn't she? I think her ulti uses like a needle-y thing. You could also do like a classic sort of floaty style where she's... You have her arms sort of... And then she's got like her dresses like flying all over the place, and then her ruffles are also flying all over the place, sort of like that. And then she's just got her hands out, and then her legs are just closed together, and then maybe she's slightly looking up, and like her hair's... And then her piggly tails are... Thumbs are on the upside. Unless her hands are on backwards, which, you know, I'm also okay with. Her arms could be two different lengths. Like her elbow's just in a slightly different spot. Would she have a thimble as a shield? Probably not. I'm trying to stick close to the in-game, like, what she does. If we were to totally work her character into like what would be differently balanced or something like that, then maybe. But I'm just going for like a visual change. And then, like, maybe her arms aren't totally attached in this one. So there's, like, string pulling them together, and there's, like, smoky magic coming off of it, because she's a doll. Like, her head's not actually attached to her body? That'd be cool, too. And so, like, she's being assembled. And then, like, the scissors are a little bit smaller, but they're over here, and, like, the needle is big, and it's in the front or something, and it's, like, maybe kind of bending. And then there's, like, thread that's just kind of fucking flying around all over the place. I like that one. I think that one will make a fun painting. I do think this one's probably the best, like, detailed. So I'm gonna get rid of this one and this one for now. And, like, these are the two we're gonna work with. We're still gonna keep the same color scheme for her, though. So I'm actually gonna grab a reference and I'm just gonna move it. You can go away, actually, for now. I'm gonna take... I want to keep her, like, colors, because she's just supposed to be blue and pretty. And I'm fine with that. We're just gonna move our, reference over here. This one is now also a reference photo because it's kind of got our details about how we want her to look. And I'll make it a little smaller. So let's just put it on top with this one. There. And this is gonna end up being our, like, sort of completed piece of artwork. She does have a very Kill la Kill feel to her, yeah. I'm gonna keep this basic, for now. We might end up doing like a fully rendered painting eventually, but for now, I'm just gonna be doing line work and block colors for the time being. We are still in the sketch phase, by the way. So for anybody who's curious and following along and how we're sort of going about doing this, we're still, that was just really rough splotching on whatever we can splotch on. Now we're going to go through and get like a little bit of hard lining down a little bit more of sort of what we want it to look like. I think we should still make her happy because she's supposed to be joyous. Like, she's happy to be alive. This would be like a cool, like, if she was respawning, like all the pieces, like, just You could still make her one eye blue and her other eye red. So just leave that red and then just have this one be a blue eye. I just want to make it bigger. I still wanted her to be like, yeah, she's got a person eye, but she's still a doll. If you want to make her really creepy, you add like these lines in to make it look like a puppet, but she's not supposed to be a puppet, so we're trying to avoid that look. We do want to give her a round face, but I feel like we're a little bit too square right now. That's a little bit better. There we go. Not bad, eh? She has really big hair. Let me just look at this for a second. Okay, so her hair's not that big in this, but in the actual one, her hair comes way further out and the bows are smaller. So they reverse the hair and the bows. So maybe I can find like a happy in-between and have like... still have like a big bow, but not too big. Maybe like that. Kind of look like clouds, I guess. Yeah, whatever. You need to pay like special attention to the angles of these cylinders. So because this arm here is facing away, you see it cuts this way, but because this one's facing forwards, it cuts up and in. So, handy trick to know which way your cylinders are facing. Hey, Rez. We can use a little bit of foreshortening to have this hand coming forward. I'm gonna detach this hand entirely and have it like over here somewhere. It's kind of limp. I'm gonna have to move this up. Like, this is a little bit in the wrong spot for I changed what I was doing partway through drawing the arm, so it actually should kind of be more like this. Or maybe I could turn it so it's like coming across this way and put the... Now I want to get a good look at her, so I'm trying to make her visible, not creepy. So like if I wanted to make her look, I want her to look creepy, but not like terribly intimidating. So I don't want, like, if I were to like cover part of her face or to block off part of her Like, the more you cover of something, the more your imagination is left to fill in, so it's easier to make something look kind of off or uncomfortable. That's one of the reasons why Fiddlesticks is designed the way he is. There's a lot about him you don't see what's going on. I can't tell what's going on. You just made more chicken burgers in one shift than you have all week. Damn. There we go. Now we've got a very much hanging hand off to the side. Oh, it'd be so easy to turn this character into a Star Guardian. I can't really tell what this is supposed to be. It's kind of... It's clearly like something that is way too expensive for the seamstress from a small city to have... Or from like a small area to have like embroidered out. Even if they were bored. It's a little bit intense. I don't really like it because it doesn't really match her where she's from. So maybe if we turn it into some easier kind of embroidery. Oh, Rez is gonna stay up and hang out with us. That's cool, dude. Inkboy for 2 says, just do the Rule 34. I'm sure that already exists. If you want to give Rule 34 artists anything, it's that they are damn quick. It's probably already done. Allura? Allura would be fun to draw. I just feel like whatever this is should be way more simple than it is.
Just to the Rule 34, lol.
Hey! The donation button worked. And it read it out loud. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble now. Yes, of course I'm worried about the lore. Like, look at this character. She's supposed to be a doll. And from the Shadow Isles. And she's none of the things. She matches none of the stuff, and I don't appreciate it. I do not. I do not appreciate. I don't know if it's a good idea dating somebody who recently had a swastika as their profile picture. You already discovered Rule 34. Just putting... I could do a gender bend. I think that's what, Rule 63? I can never remember which one that is. I'm not going to do a ton of details on the scissors right now because that's not really the most important part. I think the scissors ought to be opened, but for now it's just like that. Just to mark in where they are. Maybe you can give her a... She throws a couple of needles as her ult. Maybe she's got more than one. Let's give her 3. Whoops. Wrong boot in. League of Legends has a lot of lore. They have so much lore that they're considering making an MMO. There's been talk of it, at least. So I want some of it to kind of go around that way and some of it to go around that way. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. I hope you're feeling alright. Pair of scissors. A pair of scissors is a singular scissor because it's 2 pieces. Pair of scissors. I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. So like I said, I wanted to keep the same colors. So I'm just gonna chunk in a bunch. I haven't really considered the lighting very much yet, either. It's kind of got like this goldish color. It's supposed to be gold. It's not showing up as gold because I'm zoomed out too far, but like maybe that. Well, that's too dark. with the lighter. Yeah, we're chilling here right now. We're all about the chill. But you never know when we're gonna fly off the handle. And now I'm actually going to take the color from Fiddlesticks because I want that burlap. That's too dark. I want the burlap color. There we go. So she's gonna kind of look wooden without texturing, but for now it will look good. Or, well, it will look good once we get the texturing in, I mean, I should say. So she's not gonna have that porcelain look anymore. She's gonna look like she's made out of burlap. She's from, like, the porcelain look makes no sense. She's supposed to be like, oh, a poor seamstress in a remote village made a doll when she was a child and then grew up still, like, with this doll in existence, like Toy Story. And for some reason, she's freaking... Actually, I should take the color from the doll. That's what I ought to do. Let's do that. Bam, 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 bam. There you go. The only other way we do it is we give her this porcelain white, which is still good looking, but I honestly, like, it matches a little bit better with the color scheme to give her this porcelain color. But I still think she ought to look like burlap. So maybe if we just use it for, like, highlights. If there was ever a time to be using cross-hatching. I haven't thought too much about where the lighting's going yet, if you can't tell. Want to say what happens when you turn the lines off? Not bad, right? Oh, where's Puck? Puck is not here right now. I'm sorry. He's not. I don't have him. He will get a boop, but I don't know where he is. He's out and about doing Puck things. Oh, and I guess we shouldn't forget the most important part. That red eye. I feel like it almost should be a brighter red than it is. Like, it's not very noticeable, but it should be kind of like a almost glowing and creepy. So the Shadowfell is very like green and spooky, but it looks like they're turning anything that isn't like evil in the Shadowfell is more of a blue, I guess. Or like inherently evil, I guess. Hold on, I'm just gonna drop in a background color. Should pop a little bit more now. See, I kind of like that. When we start cleaning it up, it's gonna look pretty spicy. Her scissors are spectral, so they're like a glowy, greeny, purple blue. They're also massive. They'll be a little bit behind her, but yeah, there we go. And like so I would assume the same for her needles. It's come together. There we go. She's kind of surrounded by light then. So the darkest parts will be in the center, which I think will look a lot neat, like more interesting. So I'll have to flip the way I did the lighting around because I didn't really do any lighting. I just kind of marked them in. Oh, hey, Manya, how's it going? But I kind of like this as a character design a lot better because she's actually interesting. she's not just a pretty face. The Lofi Kiwi. Oh, that's adorable. This glove? This glove is so that way the oil from my skin doesn't get on the tablet, and so that way it also makes, if I'm if I'm pulling my hand across the tablet, it doesn't, like, my skin doesn't drag, so it doesn't, it's a smoother line. This color is too close to the background color. I think I need to make the background color a little darker. I'm just gonna grab this red and put it up here so I can use it later. So I don't lose it. I do kind of want to get a mix of these two colors. I like that, but I want it brighter. That's better. So I'm just taking that porcelain color and getting it close to that, but not quite. Because I still want this color, I just want it brighter, I guess. That's better. I could even go a little bit darker. It's a little better. I almost want to have like white stuffing. Or like this glowy stuffing, but I think that might be a little too much. See, look at that. That's a little bit better. I like that. It's coming together nicely. I might need to ease off on the amount of thread I've got going on, because it's gonna... I think it might end up messing with stuff, but it's just a scribble. It's a scribble that's there for now. It'd be really creepy if I made this eye, like, hyper-realistic. I think it'd be cool if I did like a red glow like that. It just zips off to the side, but I don't know. That's gotta get added at the end. So don't let me forget about that. Alright, so the question about my glasses. My glasses are for distance, not for close. So my tablet is actually pretty large. I mean, I'm small. Come here. Alright, there you guys go. So my tablet is pretty big. And so because my tablet is pretty large, it means that if I'm wearing my glasses, I will start, like, my eyes will start to get sore. Because they're for distance, not for close up. And this is pretty close. You're on my forehead right now. And there's you guys. Hello. Ta-da! So this makes it really a lot easier for me to read my screen, but the screen that's up here. So seeing you is easier with the glasses, but I need my glasses off for doing this. Considering we've been working on this for an hour and a half, I think we're doing pretty dang good. I'm just gonna get those out of my way for now. So these are kind of behind her, so it'll kind of like, light will be going that way. So this part of her should be pretty bright. Or like very similar to this color because it's coming from here. And then it's also coming from forward from here. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about when it comes to the light. So like there should be like in here. And then some backlighting. And this part should be way darker than it is. I've got it pretty light right now so I can see a little bit better, but it ought to be a lot darker. My music keeps stopping. There we go. Hope you enjoy your food. Hey, Helios. What up? Oh, we're getting some progress done. I'm happy with this so far. I think this eye needs to go. Like, I think it's just kind of in the way at the moment. I think we should just get rid of it for now. Yes, I blinded her. A double day at the gym. Oh, damn. Oh, wow, that's crazy. I hope, make sure you keep yourself safe and stay out of trouble, I guess. It's come together pretty good, though, in my opinion. But hey, what do I know, right? I'm gonna have to mess with his hair quite a bit to get the front of it to look right, but that's okay. I'm also making her smile way creepier. It's too light. I'm gonna look up bags of flour and see what kind of like color of burlap bags of flour used to come in like back in like World War II times, and see if I can find like a good like And see if I can find a good color for her body. I'm still not buying this. This is like picking the color off of Fiddlesticks was no good. The color off of her regular body is a better look. It's still almost a little bit too flesh colored though. Ah, creepy. Ah, I did it. I got it pretty. I got it. That's a level of creep right there. That's a level of Fake pirate treasure map Brown.
For something hand-waving face with mask.
Aw, thanks. That's for 2. I have no idea how much trouble I'm in now that you guys know that it reads it out loud. Have a good night, Exploratory Minds. I hope you have a good, pleasant sleep and dreams as I sit here drawing the creepiest thing I could think of. It's not even Halloween. A button eye hanging from a string. After having the hand already kind of floating off to the side, I don't know if I could fit that. Although that would make some cool, like, that would look good for fan art of the character. Like, maybe while she's, when she respawns, her parts come together and the last thing to pop in is, like, she has to pick up her eye pops out, she has to, like, shove it back in. Yeah, cute little animation. Oh, Rez fell asleep. Good morning. We are coming up on that 2-hour mark, though. I think this needs to be moved up. Like, I just think this whole section needs to be higher. Oh, the joys of doing digital art instead of traditional. Cheating! Not having to repaint that whole thing. Hooray! And then this should be more. I'm doing big swirls because I kind of want this to end up looking like sort of ruffly frills. Excuse me. Oof. Goodness. How about taking some reference from the original doll before it transformed into a fighting character of Gwen? Yeah, that's what we've been doing. There's her doll form. With her little ribbons. I could add some more ribbon to it to match these ribbons a little bit better, maybe. I think I need to change this frill a little bit. Bring it out, and then bring it out, and then have 2 frills off the bottom. So I think if I do this... That's a little bit more accurate. Like that, maybe. I'm pretty happy with how this is looking now. I miss Irish pubs too. I agree with that. I miss I haven't been out to a bar in a while. If you do go, we're on major lockdown here again, and it's like, this sucks. And it's some of the stuff that they're doing to try and get people to follow it is a little bit much. I don't know how necessary what they're trying to do is, though, so I can't really say. Not about to complain, but I'm about to complain. Giving the police power to stop you and question you about whether or not your trip is essential. Yeah, on this, yeah, the police they're giving the police the authority to just pull you over if they feel like it, to essentially interrogate you. To be like, and then they can give you like an up to a $750 fine or something. I think it's $750. I'd have to double check. It's a little bit oversteppy. Like, you shouldn't really be punishing the working people, I don't think. Or the poor people that are gonna need to go out more often. Should probably just be dealing with businesses, particularly large ones. In my opinion, but hey. What do I know? Nothing. I don't know nothing. Whew. I'm actually kind of impressed that my wrist hasn't eaten it yet. I kind of thought my wrist would just have, like, been like, no, we're done. We're done with this day. Yeah, I agree with Smitty. I think the cops are given the right to decide on their own, but I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. So don't take my word as law. And don't ever do that anyway. Even if I do know what I'm talking about, which is never. When the hell do I ever know what I'm talking about? Not even once, baby. I do like the idea of the porcelain doll, but she's not made out of porcelain. Lord! It'd also be cool if she, like, shattered or something when she died and did just die like a regular human. I got rid of her gloves. I should probably put her gloves back, right? She's got Muppet hands! I remember a conversation about Naruto a little while ago where you had some strong opinions that seemed like law. Listen, just because I think it ought to be a way does not mean you should ever really listen to... Just because I know exactly what I'm talking about doesn't mean you should ever take my word as law, even though I never know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. If it sounds like it makes sense, it probably wasn't from me. These ruffles are a bit, and I hate them. Little diamondy square thing. Yeah, it's basically that, but that. Okay. With like that. Whoop, what? What a pain. And then the ruffles are like square, square, oh, it's just like one big one with two little ones. Okay, so instead of like 3 layers of ruffles, it's like one big one, like a big crescent. So I need to fix this. This is just wrong. It's a crescent layered into 4. So it's closer to that. This side we'll be able to see a little bit more of. There we go. And then that will be a different color entirely. I've got it plugged in white right now, but looks like there's a simp party in the chat. It's my very first ever. That's exciting. Listening to this art stream is strangely relaxing and is killing my workout adrenaline boost, so I'm gonna listen to death metal and I'll talk to you later. Have a good day, Helios. Yeah, we're being super chill. I like doing these. I almost feel like these streams would be better late at night, but at the same time, like, nobody's around, so I don't really know. I used to do these as like a morning thing. It's not a real sympathon until somebody gives me money. Khajiit has wares. I do have a D&D character to draw, which was my other option for today, but I'm having fun with this redesign. I think this is way more interesting. Obviously, it's not at that level, like, tier of rendering yet, but I just think she's more neat to look at now. I kept like her big poofy cute dress, but I made it a little less, it's less fitted at the top. I made it less, hey, look at my boobies, I'm a pretty lady. And more, I'm a doll with this dress that's been attached to my body. Hey, Bent. You wanna give me some copper magma to play? Oh, but Helios just left. We can get some hardcore music going. We can do that for next time, for sure. Yeah, I'll put some on. I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I do not want to give her full-on stockings, but I do want to give her a different color for her feet, just to distinguish. Maybe her hand should be flipped over and face the other way. Methinks. Oh goodness, I haven't even saved yet. I realized we've been going for 2.5 hours and I have not hit the save button. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm just gonna call it Gwen. I think we have a really neat design on our hands. Thank you everybody for helping me come up with the design. We definitely ended up with a complicated picture when we initially started with this one. That would have been way easier to paint, just saying. But, not bad. Not too shabby. That's where we're at if we add all the strings back in. I'm not sure if we're going to end up with all those strings by the end, but they're good to have marked down for the time being. But I'm going to call it there. Thanks everybody. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of a lore read, little bit of a lore dive in sort of my thought process and kind of what I'm thinking about when I'm when my brain goes into overtime. I'll be back soon with a Goblin Reads. That will be, I don't know, what day is it? Saturday? So I'll probably come back with a Goblin Reads tomorrow. I'm excited and looking forward to that. I will also be doing, we have our call-in show over on Steve's channel on Monday. So if you guys can share and go like that, and feel free to give us a call and talk to us about whatever it is you feel like talking about. But that's everything for me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.